So that's why I do what I do, because imagine you as a child being locked up in the house, or your siblings going everywhere with your parents, but you don't get to go. And, I tell people that autistic children, even if they are not talking, even if they are nonverbal, they understand what's going on. Okay. They understand what is going on. They are not stupid. Okay. They may not be able to communicate to you what they understand, but they can tell vibes. They can tell your vibe. They can tell the vibe of someone who loves them, and the vibe of someone who just tolerates them, and the vibe of someone who absolutely hates them. They can tell those vibes. I think it's a gift that they have, but they can tell those vibes really, really quickly. So the horror story that I want to talk about today is, it's not a new story. It's an old story, but I've never talked about it. And I'm not one that believes in coming on screen and crying, even though sometimes we cannot help it. But I believe in, doing all the crying and let it all out off camera, and then coming on camera and talking about it. And so sometimes I appear like I don't have emotions, but that's because I already let out my emotions before I came on camera, and I don't really, I'm Capricorn. I don't show emotions that often. I have emotions, but I don't show it that often. And I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know how, because I would watch a sad movie and I'll cry. My friends think I cry at everything, right? But like I said, I like to go through all my emotions before I even come on camera, because I want to be able to convey my message and not come here and just be bawling my eyes out. So this story was very, very sad. It was, Nova says, that's so sad. Yes, it is. It is about that other kid. But this one I'm about to tell you is even sadder. Like, it is. So this one happened in Ethiopia. And it's a child. Okay, so this woman is a single mom. Okay, first of all. So she has an 8-year-old daughter who has autism, and who, from the story, I think is not very good in social settings, because the mom was going to go to a center that helps with autistic children. Now, she doesn't know what her child has, but she just knows that she needs help with her child, right? So she's going to go to this center, and she's going to take transportation to this center, and it was going to be about 2 hours to get to the place. Now, I'm assuming that she couldn't take her child with her because the child doesn't do well in social settings, and she just did not want to deal with that at that time. So she left her child at home. Okay, so from the story, they have ponds and maybe rivers close to where they live. So she was scared that her daughter would go off into a river and drown. So what she did was she tied her daughter to a chair. You know how you tie somebody's hands to the back of a chair, right? Those people that they investigate. So she tied her daughter's hands to the back of a chair, and she left her daughter sitting like that with her hands tied to the back of a chair. Again, it was for fear of the daughter going into one of the rivers and drowning. So I understand that fear, but that's what she had to do to her daughter. And then she left for the center. Okay, so she left for the center. It took her 2 hours to get there. And then when she got there, she didn't have an appointment. So she had to wait for her turn. And I think she waited an hour for her turn or something like that. I don't know the story verbatim, but I'm just giving you like the shell of the story, right? You will catch my gist. So she waited another 1 hour or something before she met the person. She met the owner of the center, and then she told the owner of the center what was going on. And the owner of the center was very, I don't know how to say, but she had heard stories like that before. So this wasn't new to her. So she understood the gravity of what the mom had done, and she decided to drive the mom back home. So all in all, it took about 6 hours for her to get to the center, and then for the owner of the center to drive her back home, because she was like, no, this is an emergency situation. So she drove her back to their house. And she gets there, and the child is, of course, still sitting with her hands tied behind her and behind the chair, and her head is drooped down. She's tired, most likely peed herself or something, and they untied her. And so the owner of the place, even though they had a long wait list, she had to find a spot for this woman and her child. Okay, so this is just one story. Now, leave me a comment if you have a suggestion of what the mom should have done instead, right? Because I don't sit here and be like, that was a terrible mother. Why would she do that to her child and all of that, even though those are my thoughts, right? Because you already know that this journey is going to take you so many hours, right? And it feels in the moment that it feels like she didn't have a choice in that moment. It feels that way, especially if a child is someone who usually she cannot even take out to public. Maybe her child is a lot of work when they go out to public. I don't know what it is. But I would say that if it was me, I would rather take my child and go through the hurdle of guiding them in public, holding them, carrying them, whatever it is I have to do to get to the center, rather than leaving my child tied to a chair. But that's just me. So, and you know, William started therapy very, very early on. So I would say maybe I did not get to experience some of the things that some people with autistic children experience, which is why early intervention is very, very crucial. And it's very, very important to start intervention very early. I mean, as early as you find out. So if your child is already 5, 6, 7, and you're finding out about it, just start intervention. As early as you find out, start intervention, right? So let me comment if you think that the mother didn't have a choice, because I think she did. I think that it's best to have that child with you, carry that child, go through the stairs and the snide comments from strangers and all those things, but have your child with you as you take them to the center. That's how I feel, okay? But leave me a comment if you feel otherwise. So, but what's going through my mind is this child that they left sitting down, hands tied to her back so she doesn't go into the river to drown. And they left her for 6 hours, right? So they come home and her head is drooped and she is obviously tired, hungry, probably peed herself. I think the most disheartening thing for me is what was going through the child's mind, right? Like, because if your parent, it's obvious that this parent always leaves the child by herself. It's just that this time it was for 6 hours. So if your parent leaves and after an hour they come back home, you're kind of relieved, right? If you're a child with autism, you don't go anywhere, you're always by yourself. Your parent leaves for 1 hour and comes back, you're kind of relieved. Now, if 2 hours go by, 3 hours go by, now a child starts to think, is my mother ever coming back? Right? That's what a child starts to think, which is what happens if your child is not used to daycare and you take them for the first time, they usually would cry because they don't know. For them, it's like, what is going on? Am I going to a new family? Is this a new family? Is my mother coming back? That kind of thing. So I feel like that was what was going through the mind of that child. Like, is my mother coming back today? Is my mother coming back ever? Is this how I'm going to, is this how I'm going to be? For how long will I sit here like this? Basically, like I feel like those are things that will be going through somebody's mind. And that's a very scary thing. That's a very scary thing for any child to be thinking about, right? So that's what's most disheartening for me. The fact that the child had to go through all of those thought process, not knowing for a fact. I mean, the mother knows she's going back, right? But the child doesn't know that. The child does not know that you're coming back. All the child knows is that they are tied to a chair. It's been 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and they don't know if you're coming back. It's a terrible thing to do to a child, but these are just some of the horror stories that we find in Africa and maybe even here too, So maybe even here, I think it's everywhere. It's just that there's more awareness here and there's more help here in the United States. There's more help. So anyway, I wanted to share that story so you guys can kind of understand why I do or why we do what we do, because I make the children do with me. Why we do what we do. We want to spread awareness to Africa, especially because I know my people have a way of stigmatizing everything. Like they have a way of thinking everything is spiritual. They can pray away everything. If somebody is not like, it doesn't talk like them, walk like them, now it's a spiritual problem that they have to pray away. Now they have to isolate that person. My people in Nigeria especially are very, very cautious about what other people say. They're cautious about the shame, the stigma that it brings to them, brings to the family lineage, whatever. Like they are very, very cautious about those kind of things. So that is why we do what we do. We're trying to bring awareness, have loads of free videos that talk about autism and how you can help your child. I have videos that talk about different strategies, like how to help with speech, how to get them to respond to their name. Like, you guys, please share my videos with people in Africa. Share my videos. They are the people I want to reach, because those children are suffering. Those children that they isolate, they are suffering. Those children, their future can just take a different turn just from their parents being aware. Like the future can be going this way, and excuse me, and the parents become aware and learn new skills on how to deal with their children, and their future will just go in the total opposite direction, right? So that's what we want to do. That's what we want to achieve. If you guys haven't been to williamslovetolearn.com, please go ahead and check out our website, williamslovetolearn.com. If there's any way you want to assist us, just check out the website and see what you can do. And if you want to join our membership but you don't have the money, please join our wait list. Sometimes we have money from sponsors and we'll just add you on. It's first come, first serve. Just join our wait list because I want everybody to be able to do it, to join our membership. On our membership, we have like different courses. So you can go on there and just search like speech, and then you will see a course on it, or search on improving your mindset, which is like my favorite course, improving your mindset about autism. It is my favorite course because that's like the number one thing you need to do as a parent, is to just change the way you think about autism, change the way you see your child. And then that will just open up your mind to be able to help that child, to be able to accept that child and help them. Nova says, this is not her first time doing it. I know. I agree with you. I don't think it is, because first time you will not leave your child for 6 hours. Like, seriously. So it's not her first time. So that child is going through a lot. So anyway, you guys, thank you for joining my live. I told the kids they don't have to do it today, and they were happy. Imagine. They were happy they didn't have to do it today. So I'm taking Wells to social skills camp, where he learns about social skills and how to talk to his peers. And he still has a long way to go, but I mean, consistency, right? So he's going to social skills. He loves it, which is like the most important thing. So I'm taking him there right now. So you guys, thank you for joining me. Everyone that joined me. If you have someone in Africa that you want to share my video with, please share my video. Even if you don't think they have autism, they might know someone who has a child with autism, right? So just share my video, like it, subscribe, follow, all the good stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. We're here like every day anyway, so you guys will see me again. All right. Okay, bye. Thank you so much. Bye.